At the age of 25, most collegiate athletes are married, engaged, or about to be one or the other. Some even have children. Regardless of where they're at in life, something almost all 25-year-olds have in common is that they're usually not collegiate athletes anymore. But then there's always an exception. Mark Jundt is that exception. He's the oldest player Winona State has ever had. We sat down with Mark and found out how a period of loss and pain has given him the chance of a comeback.
Mark Jundt has always been an outstanding athlete. Whether it was basketball, baseball, football, or track, Mark did it all, and he did it well.
Probably in high school my best sport was track, but had talked to some schools about southern schools where track is big, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Texas, Arizona, ASU, but just didn't want to move far away from home, kind of a mama's boy. So I knew I wanted to play football. I didn't enjoy track as much, even though I was better at it. And so wanted to stay home and wanted to play Division I. So the only option in Minnesota is the University of Minnesota. So I made my mind up early that I was going to go there.
A dream came true when he was offered a scholarship and title of preferred walk-on for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Without second-guessing his decision, Mark attended the U of M in the fall of 2002. And although he was so close to home, it was a whole different world.
Coming in there as a kid, seeing all these kids from all over the country, and they're all jacked up and ripped, and I'm just a little kid from Woodbury, Minnesota, and I was scared, I was intimidated, didn't know if I could compete with these kids, but after the first couple weeks, I was right up there with them, and I knew I could compete with them, and I was glad I made that my choice.
He seemed to have it all.
So I redshirted my freshman year, had a great spring game after my freshman year, led the team in catches and yards that game, and was really excited going into my first year of eligibility to play. Ended up playing in every game that first year of eligibility as a walk-on. And then due to one injury in the Sun Bowl that year versus Oregon, I got to start my first game at wide receiver. So second year was awesome. Third year came in, another good year, played in every game again. Another Music City Bowl, this time versus Alabama, and another win. So three for three there. Loved it, had a great time, made friends, got to play in the Big Ten stadiums and big crowds, and treated like a god over there. Everything's for free.
But shortly after, Mark's all-time high followed his all-time low when doctors found a lump on his mom's lung. She was later diagnosed with lung cancer.
Before knowing about my mom being sick, didn't have any worries. I was just a carefree 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid. And when you find out someone that close to you has a sickness like that, it puts everything in perspective, and football doesn't matter as much. School doesn't matter as much. All you care about is your family.
Even on the field, things started to fall apart. His playing time went down for reasons he still does not know.
And it was just like, is it worth it anymore, all this time? Because it's a year-round job, 365 days a year. It never stops. So, I started weighing my priorities. Mom's getting worse off. You can see her, fading away. So, I just had to make up my mind what I wanted to do.
Mark was facing a decision that he now describes as one of the hardest decisions he'd ever have to make. But at the time, it was a no-brainer. After the second game of his senior year, he quit the team.
It was a hard decision and tough, and, I regretted it, right after, because I missed it so much, but it was just something I had to do.
With football gone from his life and only a few credits short from graduation, Mark was able to spend the last months with his mom. Linda Marie Jundt passed away on July 2nd, leaving behind a son who was eager to get back onto the field, but now didn't have the support to do it after losing his biggest fan.
It was my mom bringing me to practices, and my mom bringing me the games, and then my dad meeting us there. So, in baseball, she kept the scorebook, and football, she was there an hour before the game, before the team even got on the field. So, she loved sports. Football was probably her least favorite, but, since I loved it, she loved it.
Being part of Warrior football had always been on his mind. He even thought about joining the Warriors in the fall of 2006, but him and his family needed some more time to heal. But more time to heal ultimately meant more time away from the game he once lived and breathed for.
As the days pass by and you're not practicing and you're not talking to coaches, you start to realize that, hey, this is going to be it. watching college football on Saturdays and seeing my friends still playing at the U, watching other guys and being like, I can still do this. Why am I not? And that's probably, I was doing 7-on-7 leagues and stuff, just anything to stay involved, personal training, anything to stay involved with football. And then come 2008, I just couldn't take it anymore, and I ended up moving to Florida, Orlando, to try out for arena football. And so while there, I tried out for Orlando's team and Tampa Bay's team, and had a really good tryout. And then a week later, after tryouts, the league folded for a year. Now they're back, so I just couldn't catch a break.
Back in Minnesota and at a new crossroad in his life, one of his friends approached Mark about playing at WSU. And
Colin's like, you don't love your job, why don't you go back and play football? And I go, I don't think I can. I don't think I have eligibility. And he goes, I'll find out. Well, that was like a Saturday. On Sunday, I have a call from Coach Braun down here, who's a graduate assistant last year. And he's like, hey, we checked on it, you got eligibility left. We'd love to have you come back.
Once again, it was the lack of support that had him doubt his chance of a comeback.
I think I only had 2 people tell me to come back. Everyone else is like, just give it up. You're old, just stop. You got to stop sometime. There's no reason to go back there.
Except, Mark wanted to go out on his own terms, and so he came to play his last collegiate football season at Winona State as a Warrior wide receiver in 2009 at the age of 25. And as it turns out, 25 was not too old to play.
So he had to get in here and get going with spring practice and really find out if he could still do the skills necessary. And it took him a while to do football stuff. Being in great shape's one thing, being in football shape's another. But it took him about 3 or 4 months, and he was ready to go.
And he wouldn't be just a one-season Warrior.
In college football, you get 5 years to play, a redshirt year and 4 years of playing. At the U, I used a redshirt year and 3 years of playing. So I had 1 year left no matter what, and that was last year that we used. So then, we hit that 5th year and it's like, is he done or isn't he done? Well, we had to petition the NCAA to get the last year at the U removed when I only played in the first 2 games. So that is a process in itself. The reason we filed it was because a lot of people know my mom passed away in July of 2006. But I quit in September 2005. In November of 2005, my grandpa passed away. And then in January 1st, 2nd of 2006, my grandma passed away. So in 3 months, I lost my grandma, my grandpa, and my mom. So it's called a hardship, and that's what we filed with the NCAA.
Being part of a team like the Warriors has not only given Mark a comeback of a lifetime, but also a second family, and a life many 25-year-olds can only dream of.
It's like a family here. Love playing with these guys. It's more like backyard school football, playing with these guys. You come out here and you can goof around, but it's also a job. And then, we're a good team. We're very talented. The guys are great. And it's just awesome to be out here on Saturdays playing games. While my other 26-year-old friends are working jobs, married, I'm out here living college all over again. And I know they're jealous because they talk to me about it all the time. So it's great to be out here going on road trips, flying down to Carson Newman. I mean, this is the life for a 26-year-old. I got my whole life to work, so why not play while I can?
His mom is always on his mind. He sports several tattoos in her remembrance and even has her initial on his cleats. And although it is hard for him to see other players with their family after the game, he says the amount of love he receives from coaches, teammates, and the community doesn't even come close to what he experienced at the U of M.
But then after I quit the football team, it was like totally shunned, No one talked to me, I know they know my mom passed away. I didn't get a letter, an email, a call, or anything. So it was kind of just like, you're here, we care for you. Once you're gone, who cares?
But not at Winona State.
I feel like I could go talk to Coach Sawyer about anything, not football, my personal life, class, anything. I can go in his office right now and he'll be there and I can sit down and talk. At the U, you're dealing with egos and personalities, and I'd be afraid just to say hi to my head coach at the U.
Division I football is a business. It flat out is. There's no question about it. It's the way it is, and that's why I really enjoy working at the Division II level, because we actually do get to have a relationship with our players. We do care about them in a way that it's bigger than football. We're a little bit more balanced with academics and athletics and all that, and trying to get kids to be have a great experience and really to be a part of everything in our program, not just the football field. And our kids love that fact, and I think we create that close bond that you don't get at the Division I level.
After many ups and even more downs, Mark feels he has finally reached a steady, happy, and good place in his life, with his mom watching him every step of the way.
She would say she's proud of me, and you know, she loves watching, because I'm sure she does. And just go out there and, you know, don't let anyone say you can't do it just because you're old. I'm out here every day going hard, and you know, these younger kids are getting hurt, missing practice. My old body is still holding strong. So I know she's just sitting down watching me and, you know, proud, and go out there and do your best.
Number 83, Mark Jundt, the exception of a 26-year-old football player in Division II sports, is ready for a 6th and final season as a Warrior.
I'm just very thankful for Coach Sawyer and the coaching staff, you know, to take a chance on a 25-year-old kid last year that hasn't played football in 4 years, to believe in me and give me the chance to come out here and compete. You know, and the guys and my teammates just for accepting me and allowing me to come out here and try to play with them and compete with them, and you know, just accepting me into the family, even though I showed up on the first day of camp last year, and you know, just accepting me as a player and a person, and you know, being there for me.
To catch a game of Mark and the Warriors, please visit WinonaStateWarriors.com or simply be here at Maxwell Field on October 2nd when WSU faces Minnesota State Mankato. Thank you for joining me here for another edition of Warriors in Focus. I'm Annalie Schmittel.